Alright, welcome back.
Welcome back. We are going to make some smoothies before we go into the boss.
Alright.
Into the next dungeon.
In the meantime, the Nintendo Switch... I forgot to bring this up on video when we were talking about this, but the Switch 2 is $450.
Yep.
But it's like roughly $100 cheaper in Japan only, but it's exclusive to Japan and region locked to Japan, so you can't play anything that isn't Japanese. And I'm just like, So what you're telling me is that you are absolutely jacking up the price of this console
for the international market,
reason. Yeah. That's 100% what you're doing.
No, Chris, they just need to have the ability, you just need to have the ability of languages. That $100 pays for all those languages on there.
Yeah, sure. Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, because I said this when it first came out. They were like, people were like, $450 is reasonable for what you're getting, and I'm like, $450 seems high for what we're getting, and the Switch is like almost $100 cheaper in Japan, and I'm just like, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, this is way more money than it should be. Because my estimate was like, it's probably going to be $400. Based off of everything we know about it from all the leaks, and even taking into the addition of shipping costs and other various things for selling your consoles in other countries, right? I'm like, it's probably going to be like $400. And then they said it was $450, and I'm like, I think you're crazy. I'm like, also, I just think the price is crazy because it's like, you could spend $450 to get a last-gen console, or you could spend an extra $50 and get a current-gen console. You know what I mean? And their argument is like, no, this is a next-gen console. And I'm like, yes, it's a next-gen console with the power of a last-gen console. Yes, absolutely. You sure can buy a next-gen console.
I don't know. I'm not impressed by it as well.
It was fine when the Wii did it, or the Wii U did it, because when the Wii launched, the Wii was like $250. In a market where all their competition was $400 or $600. It was a no-brainer buy. That's why they sold so many. When the Wii U came out, people didn't buy it, but it was still only like $300. It was like $300 in a market. I think the more expensive one was like $350, but like it's $300, right? $300 in a market where their competition was like $400, $500. Still made sense. Switch, $300 in a market where their competition was $400, $500. Yep, makes sense. It's $100 to $200 cheaper. Now we're releasing a handheld that's $50 less. Like, Nintendo, I feel like, really strived on releasing their consoles in a way where they were like $100 to $200 cheaper than the competition, making them no-brainer purchases. This is the first time where people are going to have to sit down and be like, do I buy this, or do I save $50 and get a PS5, which is more powerful, plays more shit, and offers me more things?
Yeah, I don't have Mario.
Yeah, I don't have Mario. Do I really give a shit that I don't have Mario?
I won't
Not really.
I won't get Nintendo exclusive games, but yeah. I will get like tons of other games. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, it feels really like stupid.
Bad?
Yeah, stupid is the word I would use.
Yeah. Whoa. Spider webs. Like, the Switch won't have Spider-Man on it.
Yeah.
And that's one of, like, the best games of the decade.
Yeah. But you can't play Spider-Man portably, except on the Steam Deck, where it was ported to PC and you could play it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah. So about that, yeah, I got cotton candy all we can eat. Like, I was talking to my partner about this, about the portability, how portable the Switch 2 is and such. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, yeah,
Not very.
I was saying it to her, and I said, like, oh, the Switch 2, you'd be able to play it, in the bedroom. You could take it and play it in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. And then I go, but, like, I have a gaming PC, and I don't need that, and it's like, it's in the other room, and I can just play games on that. It's more powerful. And then I said, and then if I have a PC here, I can play games on the PC here. Yeah. I have a laptop that I'm using right now while we're talking in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So, no, it's just not going to be worth it. For $450, you can buy a fucking okay, decent laptop.
I know listen, I get that it's more expensive if you don't have one, but if you already have a PS5, you can just buy a PlayStation Portal for like
Oh yeah,
for like $150, which I still think is too pricey, but still $150.
I saw that and I
And
was just like, oh yeah.
And then just play all your PS5 games portably in the bedroom anyway.
And I was thinking about that because we have a PlayStation 5.
Yep, it just makes more sense. Also, I think Nintendo's in extra trouble because both Microsoft and Sony have been hinting at the fact that they're building their own portable consoles to compete with the Switch, because the Switch sold so much better than they were expecting.
I would love it if Nintendo and Sony, if Sony and Microsoft teamed up for it. I know they won't.
They won't, but that would. But
it would be hysterical because it would just be like, "Yep."
Well, Microsoft's already half-assing theirs because they're just licensing out the Xbox
library
brand.
To everything.
No, they're literally just selling the brand to handheld manufacturers to build their own version, and then they can call it an Xbox, but it's not really going to be an Xbox.
No, it is insane because and then there's the is it Game Pass? That's the thing that Microsoft is doing.
Keep going with it. We're going to be sitting on this forever.
Whoa, who are you? Are you a new member here? Oh no, the thorns! Oh, look at the rift. Huh? Ah, the thorns, they're spreading. Hey, watch out, everybody. What's that? We're spinning cotton candy, okay? You might gotta stop for a second. You're being so annoying. Why don't you just... Huh?
Die.
Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, no.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! Not good!
Man, the nerve of that guy and his driving items.
Somebody save us.
But yes, you were talking about the Steam. Oh, never mind. That ended quickly.
Yeah, no, there's so much other options than the Steam. Than the Switch do. Our friends, they disappeared into the thorns. On the bright side, there's plenty of cotton candy in there. Is that all you think about? Letting monsters loose, scooping up shrubs. Who knew this stuff was so dangerous? What if our friends are gone for good? I would love them to be.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Come back. They'll come back if we mend the rift. Oh, really? But hang on. Does mend the rift mean getting rid of the thorns? That means no more cotton candy. What do you care more about, your friends or cotton candy? How dare you? I think it's about time we get going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what you're going on about, but please help them. Cotton candy. Oh, sheesh. Just kidding. I want you all to die.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I'm like, wow, you people suck. Your deaths would mean nothing. But yeah, I do find it funny that all I'm saying is that if Sony does come out with a handheld,
oh, Nintendo's screwed.
then and it's released for $400 or even better, $350. Nintendo is fucked.
Oh, I want them to. I don't know if they would be able to, but if they could,
it depends on how bad they want to fuck Nintendo, because Sony loves selling their stuff at a loss to destroy their competition.
If they did, I think that would make Sony probably one of the better options for pricing wise.
Yeah.
And it would absolutely destroy Nintendo, because Nintendo's like, oh, we can't afford to do it like that, and it's just like bullshit.
If Sony could even make a remotely powerful handheld that's played for that was only $350, they wouldn't just crush Nintendo. They'd crush Steam too. They'd crush literally everyone in pricing.
I just would love them. I don't know the time frame that Sony would be able to, but if they could, oh my god, it would be the funniest thing in the world.
I imagine that if they do, it won't be done until
end of the year.
Mid Switch 2.
Yeah.
We're probably years away.
Yeah.
Because it was like maybe a year ago they let out like a marketing sheet that asked some very suspicious questions about the Switch and how much people liked gaming portably, essentially.
Yeah.
But that was about a year ago, so it takes a while to make a new hardware. It's not a quick process.
Yeah, if they can though, it will destroy the Switch and Nintendo. And then everybody who loves Nintendo products will be like, I don't understand. How? Just trying.
I saw the thought.
You saw the attempt.
Yeah, I saw where you're going. It infinitely respawns.
It's back.
How convenient.
I need it. I actually kind of do.
Mm.
But no, if Sony can release a portable handheld console for the price of like $300 to $350,
Mm-hmm.
they would absolutely destroy Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't think they could do 300. I could see them maybe pulling off 350 though.
Yeah.
Kind of depends on what they build, I suppose, but still.
Because if they can, that'd be
a power move.
That would be such a power move.
It's like, it would be a power move, that's for sure.
Because as I think you've told me in the past, Sony releases almost all of their consoles at a loss.
Yeah, except recently.
Yeah.
They stopped doing that recently because the PS3 was so bad that I feel like they needed to like recoup their losses. It worked out really well for them for the PS1 and the PS2, but the PS3 did not go so well, so they were like, we can't keep doing this. So the PS4 was released for a profit. And keep in mind that the profit the PS4 was $12. So they don't usually release them for a huge profit, even when they do release them for a profit.
Fucking dollars.
Yeah, $12.
Where Nintendo wants to have a profit margin of like over $100 for their console.
And we know it's probably over 100 because the Nintendo Switch in Japan is about $100 cheaper. So we know exactly how much they want their profit margin to be for selling a product.
Yeah.
Here's the irony of that. I still think they're selling it for profit in Japan.
Oh, I think so too.
Which means it could probably be sold even less if they were willing to sell.
If they were willing to part with some of this gross profit margin that they're working on.
If they were willing to sell for a loss like Sony does, I feel like they could sell it for even cheaper.
Well, I think a huge thing that's going on is...
But Nintendo usually doesn't do that.
I think they've had kind of a changing of the guard of who's in charge at Nintendo.
Oh, absolutely. I've been thinking this for a while, but when like Shigeru Miyamoto leaves, I think Nintendo might actually implode. Because everyone's been switched out at this point, and all the people left, and all the new people suck. Like, they're fucking not good.
a lot of greed.
Like they're replacing a lot of their upper management with some really fucking really greedy bastards.
Yeah, so I'm like a little concerned, because I think you're right. They're gonna implode as soon as it goes down.
Yeah.
As soon as that guy retires.
I think as soon as Miyamoto retires, I think they're fucked. Because I don't think they've done a good job replacing the creatives. I think they've done an okay job replacing the creatives for certain games, but not all of them. And the other thing is, I feel like as upper management's been dying and being switched out, they've been being replaced with people who just generally care more about making money than making good products.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, it's a wait and see type thing. We don't know nothing's in stone yet, but definitely not a good position. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's a little awkward, to say the least. They've put themselves in a
precarious situation.
Yeah, they put themselves in a weird situation. I think that's partially because, like, you know how protective Nintendo is of their IPs, or used to be.
Yeah.
But, like, now they're licensing everything to everything.
Which is crazy.
Which is cool, right? Like, I like that we were getting, Super Mario Land and amusement parks and stuff. However, that alone probably should have been a warning,
a red
sign
a red
of, like,
flag.
Maybe Nintendo cares more about licensing their properties to make a profit than they do about actually making good things.
Yeah. I can sense my friends deep in here.
Because when the Wii U was bombing, they didn't...
Look at that!
Oh, it's a
Oh,
treasure chest.
no.
I know it's not. It's well, okay then.
That big flower, where'd it go?
But yeah, they like... Instead of... Because, like... I feel like that's kind of just the... Because, like, I think about the Wii U, and it's like, when the Wii U was bombing, what did they do? They, like, hunkered down and just tried to make good games for it to get people interested. But, like, now what is Nintendo doing now that Iwata is dead? It's like, they're licensing their property to anyone who will take it, maximizing profits, trying to sell a console for $450, trying to sell games for $80. It feels like they're just trying to make as much money as humanly possible now.
I don't know. There's just something that the price jump between 70 to 80 is just kind of really throwing me off, because it's just like 70 I can understand a little bit.
Yeah. It's
$80?
80 is still lower than game prices in the 90s, though.
That's true.
Remember that.
I've heard people use that as an example, too.
I mean, it is technically true. Sony... See, we're in a weird position where Sony also did that. Sony's the reason games are as low as they are. They stabilize game prices by releasing games on CD. And, that really fucked up Nintendo's shit. Like... Sony loves undercutting its competition when it means it can make them more money. So...
My friends are definitely in here. I can sense them nearby. But this place is so huge. Where do we start?
So that's why games on the PS1 were, like, standardized to be, like, $50. Because it was going to really hinder Nintendo, because Nintendo had to make cartridges. That's the other reason why their games are probably more money, though. Because they make cartridges like fucking idiots. This is why I'm always like, cartridges are not great, because they still have load times, and they're more expensive to produce, and blah 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 blah. And now here we are, in a situation where there's game cartridges that are more expensive.
What are you talking about? Game cartridges are the way of the future.
And I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly what I fucking said would happen. Oh yeah, also, people have been nicely forgetting, you also need a more expensive SD card, because they're making it mandatory that you need a faster SD card to run your games from an SD card. Which, to be fair, makes sense. It was kind of inevitable. It was only a matter of time until that was going to happen. But it's just another thing that makes the Switch 2 even more expensive.
It's going to be at least a $25 gift card, $25 memory card you need to get.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, it's $25 if you want the 256 gigabyte one.
Derek, you need to kill these things.
I know. But if you want the one that's more expensive, if you want the one that has 1 terabyte of hard drive, that's over $100.
They have a 1 terabyte one?
Yeah.
Oh, the SD card.
The SD card.
Okay.
But if you want the other one, it's like, I think it was like $25 at the moment. But like, that's still another expense that people aren't calculating when they're calculating the cost of this console.
The Switch has 256 gigs of memory, Derek.
Yeah, you can store more than 2 games on it. You can store like 8. They said it on their direct.
Yeah, like, think about it. That's crazy.
It's insane.
I still don't have an SD card for my Switch, so...
Oh, I have an extra. I might give it to you. But then again, you only buy... you buy cartridges, not digital games.
Yeah, so. I don't buy digital games, I buy cartridges, so... That's why I don't... It was the same thing with the Wii U. Like, the Wii U came out, and I'm like, it only has 32 gigs of storage? That's fucking horrendous. And then, like, I bought all my games physically anyways. So, like, I didn't come anywhere close to using it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, 32 gigs is a lot of room for storing literal save data, which is usually only, like, a couple kilobytes of information. But it's a problem in the modern era when people like to digitally download everything, so...
Yeah, I don't know. People are, not smart. And I've said this for the longest time of... to people who are like, "Oh, just buy it digitally," and I'm like, I'd rather get it physically.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Don't worry, Nintendo made buying games digitally way worse and way more confusing. So like,
dude, what are you talking about? Are you implying that this new system with their digital virtual card thing is confusing?
I don't think it's confusing. I think it's just bad. Actually, just horrendously shit.
I agree. I agree.
What are the irony that that was the last one needed to do that? I'm like sitting here like, there's gotta be a better way, man.
Am I just wasting your time? Yes.
Anyways,
No, dude, I don't know. I'm a little taken aback on how greedy Nintendo is right now.
I'm not.
I'm not. Also,
Yeah,
at the same
I'm
time,
not.
which is the problem.
Like, for me, this is expected.
Yeah.
I expect Nintendo to be greedy. In fact, I'm more surprised when they're not greedy. Nice. Zelda's like fucking Spider-Man. If Spider-Man's power was summoning spiders to shoot webs for him.
They call me Spider Girl.
Spider Girl, Spider Girl. Which one? That's the real. Which one?
Yes.
There's Spider Girl, Spider Woman, Spider Gwen, Spider Stacy, but Spider May, Mayday Parker. What? Like, pick one. There's a lot.
There really is. So this brings that up.
I don't know anything about Mayday Parker. All I know is that I like the name Mayday Parker. It's a cool sounding name.
It is a cool sounding name. So
It's the daughter of May and
Spider-Man.
Mary Jane and Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. I gotta be careful because there's many Spider-Men. I don't want to confuse them.
They've done some interesting decisions on the comics of Spider-Man recently.
Recently?
For a long time.
For a while.
For a long time.
Yeah, they're
Some
they
questionable
broke
decisions.
up Peter Parker and Mary Jane like forever ago, and people were pissed. And now it's been like 5 years, and people are still pissed, and they still haven't put them back together. And I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there at Marvel.
What I also know is they've done. Then he got with MJ, and now MJ is the Venom symbiote. She's the host of the Venom symbiote.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, interesting.
Yeah, they're not together though.
Yeah.
They're like, that's like the whole thing is that they're not together.
So I'm like, well,
And
that's an
people are
interesting
still
choice.
upset.
Do you remember when the Venom symbiote required a certain type of person? It could only bond with certain people, and now everybody's bonded with it?
To be fair, that rule has always been a suggestion.
Yeah. It really has been.
That's what we call in the Naruto universe as a redcon.
Fucking really annoying.
To be fair, that's always been like... It's more of a... That was always like a writer thing to make it so that they couldn't just put the symbiote on like random street people. Because they wanted them to be like characters that they can make money off of.
Yeah.
If you just let random fucking people become the symbiote, it kind of like diminishes the point of like having
The symbiote,
the
yes.
symbiote. Yeah. So like, I get it.
I do too.
It's just dumb.
It's
Yeah.
really weird of a choice.
Yeah.
But
It's because they don't want to be like... They want to have the struggle of a human having to work with Venom instead of just like Venom jumping from person to person to always escape captive. Which would also work. They just don't want to do it.
yeah.
Plant boss. Actually, we got
Plant
like
bot
a
next
minute.
time?
Yeah, we got like a minute. So let's call it
Plant
early
bot
for this
next
one,
time.
and we'll do this fight in the next one. We'll see you guys then. Peace.